Greetings and welcome. I'm PsychicMediumRoberto, and I truly hope you are doing well. We are guided by Spirit. Trigger warning: the subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. All cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. What is going on here? Alright. Oh, that's what I forgot. Just before the energy around this particular show and reading has been quite deliberate but positive. And let me just explain the rationale here quickly. And they're telling me, see, I told you so. During the hurricane shows, Milton, please forgive me for not remembering the other name, I'm going to get it now. You know, the beautiful thing about numerology and following the numbers per se, we find ourselves on a trail that began. This is the origin story of the entire series. I'll put it all in a new playlist, and I have to give this rationale up front, otherwise either new viewers and old viewers might get a bit confused as to where we're going here. So as a necessary introduction, during the Helena and Milton events, and in fact let me bring that chart in as well. During the Helena and Milton episode, there are 3 of them. This was the 3rd one. During this reading, I've been noticing the issue of different worlds, and community members have fortunately also sharing information. That of course there are other, well, as we know it as humans, there's other planets, right? However, there's a missing planet, some believe, or a hidden planet, and there may even be another one, because during the hurricane readings we've got a 20 outcome 2, there's a 40 outcome 4, and when we also want to include our alien buddies, there's a 30 outcome 3. So 3 worlds. And if you watched Rome, the episode where I look partly at the beginning of the Gregorian calendar, here's where we discovered that missing 48 hours in this episode as well. And it's evident in when the Jules calendar joined the Gregorian calendar. There's a missing 2 days plus 9 days, so 11 days. You see, here's 11 days. I was actually thinking about it a bit more. If you watch in real time, you'll get what I'm saying. But if you're not watching real time and you just popped onto this episode, watch Rome. There's a gap in time, if you will, a sleeve, slit, whatever you want to call it, where I believe portals are being used. Because here in the hurricane show, let's remind ourselves quickly, look at the portal sequence available right in the zone, and both of them portal sequences. Do you see that? Both. That's interesting. So this was the genesis of the worldly hunt. And I was just saying, now we are going to look specifically on the hunt for 40 outcome 4, 20 outcome 2, and 30 outcome 3. And in this episode it will be, I keep wanting to call it the big earth, Now, I had a bit of mental ping pong earlier in my head, the real ping pong. So Earth, as we know it, Earth, right? For me is 20 outcome 2. In one way it would make sense because, well, as the planet as we know it is 80% water. So effectively all these continents are specks on a water planet, right? That's my current rationale. Let's prove it. I know recently I'm saying water people, but remember in Helena and Milton there is, in my opinion, activity underneath this water here. And that is why and Bermuda Triangle on the right, there's something going on here, and now we are going to go looking. So 20 outcome 2 for me is where we at. 30 outcome 3 for me is our 17-8 buddies, those with green skins, red eyes, eat Pizzagate under the sewers, those people, and the others that are in Parliament and Congress and all around the world. I hear you. Where are the 16/7s originally from? Well, if you watch Rome, you'll find where the Vampiris are living, under the Vatican. And we discovered, in fact, do we add it here? What are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I believe we're on another worldly quest here, because they were 50 outcome 5, the Horde. The Horde in Rome was 50 outcome 5. I'm going to put it here because, or would they be, I'm going to put it here anyway. The Horde is under the Vatican City. If you watch the Rome episode, the numbers revealed there is a horde, in my opinion, under the Vatican City. You'll note all celebrities, all those with those little red little twinklets around their arms and pieces of strings. Hail Satan when they get there, motherfuckers. So we got a horde under the Vatican in Rome. That was primarily why I did Rome first, because we know where it sits. Alright, so in a discovery of the worlds, we are going to do Finding Nemo icon. So if you ever get lost, look for Nemo. So this will be episode 1 in a true hunt, but in the playlist I'll include all the Hurricane episodes to bring you up to speed. Alright, and then while doing some research, you might be asking if you have caught up with the Rabbit series, which the previous one, obviously 7, was the Donald Trump helicopter accident. When I was looking at the numbers around the International Space Station, and we'll go deeper, but on the surface, what piqued my attention was, so November 20, 1998 was the launch of ISS as we know it. So I thought, let's have a look. I was actually looking for something to watch last night. Very little these days. Netflix is very thin in Africa anyway. Starting to become a foreign language channel. No issues with foreign language to all those that are foreign language watchers, but 3-4 years ago Netflix used to give us lots of popcorn and candy. Now we get in the bouquets, almost free, paid for free, from all the smaller countries that can't afford bigger platforms. But don't worry, we'll take 10 for the price of 1, you cheap bastards. Alright, now that I got that off my chest, there's a series about ISS, and I started watching it and I'm thinking, I wonder what this is all about. That's the original Genesis. Alright, November 20, 1998. On the surface, look at all of these sequence of 58, 13 fours, 49, 13 fours, 40, outcome 4, 31 fours. That started piquing interest. And then in the plus 9, 67, 13, 4. Remember we spoke about family integration, government integration, human race integration. Remember, we on the 0 here, so there's a -1 and a +1 that I haven't done for this yet. So you've got your 12 threes, 13 fours, 14 fives. Interestingly, the day of the launch. So we look for anomalous. Look in the all is revealed. So we can see here, actually, beg your pardon, let's start here. At the top, there's a 2-2 conflict. Now, why would there be a 2-2 conflict? Why is 20 outcome 2 so significant? This number, 20 outcome 2, has been screaming through Kate's episodes, through the 17-8 episodes. We find it in the hurricane episodes. So why is there a conflict here? Now, if we go deeper on the plus 9, I don't have all the answers yet. There's enough information that got me ready to get started. So we've got 11-2 conflict. On a family level, let's say, even when you have an 11-2 conflict, we can speak about adoptions, adopting. So what have they been adopting? But now we go on a, let's just say, even on a human, even in a, of course, universal, 11-2. This is a very big conflict because on one hand, you're dealing with a power number. So we're talking about two worlds. One of them is dying, 9. Now I wonder which one's dying. And the other one is fine. Okay, the other one's fine, right? Hidden in the plus 9, 40 outcome 4 hidden. Now let's just go for a moment. We're dealing with an engineering marvel that, as we know it, as the context goes, right? Engineering marvel in space. We've got all the right numbers around. Look in the plus 3. Do we recognize this sequence? 16-7. 16-7. That's a Elon Musk match, as we know it. This is only on day 0 we're looking at, huh? When we talk about 29-11-2, so it's indicating dying. In the 0 on the day, we have a hidden 31-4. Beg your pardon, hidden 31-4, which talks about death and endings. So something is dying. The ISS, the day it launched, 22-4, hidden agenda. So this whole mission is about beginnings and endings, right? One world is dying, one world is going to be I'm going to say, based on my preliminary information, yes, already exists, in my opinion. So in other words, and I'm new to this, I'm hearing all sorts of things. It's hidden behind the sun. It's, in the background with these penguin people and the Illuminati and the Satanists and all the creatures they feed with, have sex with, breed with. Use Saturn, for example, as a planet. Is that 30 outcome 3? Don't know. Is that the 30? Don't know. But we'll get there. Technically, in the -1, we would see here a 30 outcome 3 hidden. So they are around. Let me recap. 30 outcome 3 is around. All integrated, these guys, popping up everywhere. And this is interesting. I find interesting is because the whole operation behind, well, as per Wikipedia text, and as we know it, it is an international space station, right? All countries are involved. In other words, if we flip the optics back to Rome, we say that all of them are working together for an end goal. Is it a once-in-a-lifetime moment? Well, do we include ourselves in helping? Because fuck me if I knew anything about this. 30 outcome 3, lizard people. 50 outcome 5, new development may up the horde. So we got 20, 30, and we currently here's 40. Where is this 40? So here we see it. They leave Earth as we know it, because that's another story, isn't it? They leave Earth this day. And where do they put their heads down that night? 40 outcome 4. Oh. So 1998, when they said we're going to build an international platform where we can learn about space. Ladies and gentlemen, check the flavor of your popcorn. There might be some LSD in it because someone's speaking shit. Now, as a bit of table tennis, when I was preparing the slides, in relation to 20 outcome 2 and 40 outcome 4. Now, the number 4 is Earth number. In other words, if you're standing on land, not Earth as we know Earth, if you're standing on land, piece of land anywhere, your backyard, when you put your hand in the soil, that is 4. So you're tangibly feeling soil, earth as we know it, right? But in my opinion, they leave the water planet. There's the new beginnings, 13.4, in the middle, in between. They land somewhere. Or, 2 is water. The number 2 is water. Tear, rain. It's always interesting, whenever there's rain about, you'll find 2s or a build-up of 2s. If your storm gets a bit violent, like we witnessed with Helena, Milton, you start finding 9s and 8s, 7s. Starts getting a bit violent. So, as far as I can tell, they went to, I'm going to call this, for me, Big Earth. If it changes, it changes. But for clarity purposes, because when we say Earth, we may be speaking about 20 outcome 2. How's that for mind fucking us? No, this is Earth. Look under your feet, you dumb. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, you're actually standing on a pea pod with 80% water around us. Earth. So I'll call this Big Daddy Earth. Wherever they park their ships and wherever they go to and whatever's going on there, here it is here. It's much bigger than us. Like, I mean, we can say on face value double the size. Can you imagine that? As far as I can tell, 49.13.4, there are families living there. There are families living there. There's even a government there. So we can surmise, if we were archaeologists, pushing away the earth against the rotten bones of a carcass. Because there's theories around all that bullshit as well, right? Yes, family, activity. There's even an organized government. We have an organized society on Big Earth, where there's death, family, and there's learning. There's learnings, 22.4 is learnings. So if we take the -1, +1, there's communities, there's groups, there's larger community. It's like Big Earth, motherfuckers. Hey? I wonder if they send Netflix there, or the better Netflix goes to Big Earth, the motherfuckers. Big Earth gets the best shows. Anyway. In the +3, so we'll use this episode as the exploratory, but I'm liking what I'm seeing. See here, bigger community, 23.5. The intention. Let's go in. See, this on one level it speaks about the separation, because there's issues here. 5, 34.7, 43.7. This could also be a food issue. Yes, someone's saying behind me. My goodness, because these are vampires here as well, eh? So the intention is there's an issue with vampires. The horde under the Pope's arse, under the Vatican. In the action, so here's another telltale sign that when we turned our telly on, 1998, come mommy, daddy, we're going to go to the moon. We're sending a whole city to space. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by for another Kubrick production, 26.8, roll cameras, lights, action. Bloody, bloody fish cakes. So the government's on Big Earth, 58.13.4. are in waiting, 37-10-1, 28-10-1, and on the ground there's an operation. Of course, we got to do something. So I actually questioned the other day, when we send rockets and there's payloads inside, you know what I mean? There's payloads inside. And then cut to CGI 2024 model. Some satellites just pop out in the air. And everything miraculously works. But then, stand by, Chief. Yes, what's happening? Payload coming from water planets. Stand by. They land, big Earth, offload, whatever they're offloading. It could even be 13-4s being offloaded. There is a birthing program, +9. We saw these all recently, isn't it? And we're going to go there. We'll do ping pong just now. This is the read on year. See here, 29-11-2. You see there? Well, I spoke about that, bigger part. Sorry, whenever I see a 29-11-2, my brain goes mad. 67-13-4. 67-13-4. Human race breeding program here. Breeding. Now let's be clear. Not here. 20 outcome 2 possibly. They are breeding on big Earth with our children even. 13-4 payload. What's in the payload? Cut to VT3 standby satellite deployment, shot by Kubrick. Roll, action, you get the drift. So there's definitely a breeding program going on here. Now look at the position of 67-13-4. It's after the fact. It's in the same position when they've landed. It's in the same position when they've landed. It's a breeding program, off-site breeding program. I'm sure there's other things going on. So if we had to do a 369, now this is why I'm bringing back in Mr. Frank Olson. Military scientist, murdered. The narrative says he fell out the window by accident. But in previous episodes, particularly in this one and recent episodes, in the 17-8 Find the Blue Rabbit story, we know that's all bullshit. So look here. In the +9 of Frank Olson's 72-hour scan, in the +9, what would be the +9, we see 67-13-4 as well. There would be a 67-13-4 as well. And this is what also concerns me. So if all these 4s are military numbers as well, right? Particularly these are the military numbers here. 40 outcome 4. So if we look at the bigger chart, 40 outcome 4, 31 4, 22 4, 34 4 in a normal lens, and we see it here. Let's use this here, 40 outcome 4. That's military. And yeah, we see the exact same military numbers here, exactly the same. So the great hoax show that people are at war and people are at war with each other is all bullshit, because they're all working together anyway. Governments is a fucking fraud. Governments is a fraud. It's the taxation of the peasants, and I'm included in that list because we are peasants in their heads. But I've said before, Don't underestimate the strength of a human being. Maybe they gave us human being to think we're special, but let me say, don't underestimate the power of the human. Motherfuckers. So in the +9 of the +1, the day after the launch, so 30 outcome 3 is also becomes, in the +9, the day after, we have a 30 outcome 3. So they're jumping worlds here. Wait, let's write this one out properly, because we may have found something here. In the all is revealed +9, the day after would look like this. 30 outcome 3. Now, interesting about this 27-9, the reason why I feel it's important that they did it then, the 27-9, in my opinion, because I was just trying to get a read off it, it gives an extra boost of energy when needed, or if needed. 27-9 in that position, I would imagine, is a very strong, powerful number, particularly in that position. And this position here speaks about past lives, going back, whatever. Hidden 41-5, you know what's happening? They are leaving behind a trail of destruction. And I was mentioning, what I also wanted to mention in these wars, are they really having a war for the sake of war? Do you know what I mean? What is the real reason behind these wars? Not what we know, the real reason. When you consider that all of these people are working together, there's no one true government. It's all one government already, man. Okay, Vladimir, we understand you need nutrition. Ukraine is next door. You know, 68. So here we'd have a 68, 11, 2, and we know the rest. It's all the 2s. 41. This 41-5. So they're leaving behind a tale of destruction. So they're leaving behind a mess. And this mess pertains to humans, bodies. 32-5, also very destructive number. 14-5. See, this is moving. 14-5 is it's like an exchange, right? So they're going up at a time. It reflects the change. 14-5 going from one country to the other, like we saw in Haneke's mysterious adventure. 14-5 crossing the border. So yeah, they're crossing from different, Earth to space, if you want to call it, right? But they're leaving behind. Why are they see a hidden? They're leaving behind destruction, or the Earth has been destructed. Either way, they're destroying the Earth. This is what I find hypocritical about. Guys, we're going to have to stop this climate change, get all the governments, because they all work together anyway, get all your money, put it in this pile, it's going this way, that way, that way. Isn't it? And the reason why I say it is, if you have to, just on aeroplanes, a map of aeroplanes flying per day over the world. Okay, let's stop kidding ourselves. The climate change, they fucked it up. Now they want to bail. Motherfuckers. 68, Here you say is incorrect, is 14.5. Sorry if that was glaring at you while I was talking. I know it can be annoying. Beg your pardon. 68.14.5. These guys are packing up. These guys are packing up. Mining. Digging. Dig, baby, dig. What's that new saying? Dig, baby, dig. For those that are interested, I'm considering I'm looking for key dates, because we are going back, and it will probably be part of the History Saturday series, because we know with these other worlds that the Anunnaki, according to theory 1 of 3, that there was this big pile of gold that was harvested off this planet. I may have found a key date, because I've been hunting for a date, so that episode will be coming up at some point, more than likely in the History Saturdays, even maybe part of the series even, actually. So Finding Nemo, a quick recap at the end. Helena, there's evidence of other worlds, in my opinion. We now have a random, I just thought, let me have a look at the International Space Station. What's going on there? And what do we have here? Look here, 64.10.1. Where have we seen those numbers? 64, you see, this is why it's in 0. Look at the consequence now. 64.10.1 is the human issue being sacrificed. Because now in the -1 we will find a 33.6. So there's a sacrifice the day before. There's the festival on day 0. So there was obviously a festival when they got home on 40 outcome 4. Bring out the load, payload. 60. This is what happened after the launch. There's a feast. And this is why when they leave behind 41.5. The way we find Gabby Petito, 41.5. What happened to the body, 32.5. I would say, see, this even smacks of interagency cooperation, particularly when you get to your 11s, your 11.2s. So 11.2s would go up to here, would go up to 65.11. We're talking 56.11. There's intergrouping. It's all the same fucking thing. So if we sang, because the grumpy bush we saw at the cathedral the other day with his mop of hair behind his head, I don't mean to disrespect those that like that alien, but his father boldly stood up in, it was at the UN, wasn't it? United Nations. Oh, coincidentally, United Nations. When we must have a look there actually, because on the surface that would be quite interesting. We'd get a lot of surface numbers and a lot of these 28.10.1s background chatter. See what's going on there. But beg your pardon, George Bush stands up at the UN one year, and what is his key word? One of them, New World Order. It's probably around this time, or in the 80s, huh? Anyway, they're all bullshitting us, because it already exists. When these guys went up in 1998, it already exists. It's been there for a while. Because there's family there already. There's family, there's a society, there's government. And we the suckers, taxpayers, 20 outcome 2, funding these projects that have unthinkable payloads going up as we see it. Something's fucking wrong, yeah. Now, have a look here. Episode 2 of Rabbit number 2. Look at all the numbers we have present. Look here. Let me take some of these pickup sticks away so we can see better. 58, 13, 4, 49, 13, 4, 31, 4. Look this way, guys. There's a big issue in New Orleans. Look this way. Look at these numbers. Hidden. Oh, hidden. Oh my goodness. I knew this number bugged me. Oh my God, what is going on here? This is the chart when I broke the dates down. Instead of doing that, well, this is the energy read, but hidden we have a 50 outcome 5, the Horde. Grand Master Plan 44.8. What the? You see, when I said intermingling governments 47.11.2, it's all one government already, man. They're just fooling us. See, match. Mr. Olsen, match. So, in my opinion, 40 outcome 4 is real, thriving. One would say, who's looking at who? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe we've reached the conclusion or the ending by any means. But certainly, I wonder what 10 outcome 1 would be. Maybe 10 outcome 1 is actually the vacuum or space. What is around us? What is happening around us? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's leave it for there. I know there's a lot of unanswered questions, and I've created more unanswered questions. But like you, some of this is like new stuff for me. Alright, leave your details in the comments, and peace and light, and stay safe. Bye for now.